Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Southern California first-time home buyer market update. My name is Stephen Mead. Our company is Domicile Real Estate, and we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. And as you might have learned if you're reading our title, this is the market update where we look at statistics in Los Angeles and Orange counties specifically related to first-time home buyers. And without further ado, I'm going to kind of jump into the statistics this week. We've got some good news, some not so good news if you're a first-time home buyer, and then some more good news. So we're going to kind of use the sandwich approach, as it were. So, and again, this is for Friday, September 25th, 2020. So let me bring up some of our statistics here. You know, we like to talk about both affordability and accessibility and availability of housing. So we're going to start off with the affordability, and this is kind of where we have some good news. I think, pretty much all summer long, as soon as the spring kind of settled out, we've really been seeing very big price gains in terms of the home prices. So what we've done here is you can see our 2018 or 2019 sort of numbers that we took at the end of the summer, and then we've kind of been following along week to week with our housing market updates here. And this is our entry-level home and our entry-level condo. And basically the way we define these is this is where we're a little bit different than any of the other stats that you've seen, is we basically take two samples. For one, a single-family home that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. And then for condos, we do an attached home, obviously, that is a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. And we only look in those categories to kind of really give some definition and not try to give you a whole market statistic, but something that's a little bit more useful. And finally, what we do is we do something called our first quartile prices. And while that sounds like a dumb, stupid statistics term, the reality is it really kind of gives you a much better number for entry-level buyers. So the cheapest house would be the 0th percentile. The most expensive house would be the 100th. The median would be 50, and sort of midway between the cheapest and the median is the 25th percentile or the first quartile. And that's the statistic that we use, thinking that most entry-level buyers will probably be buying towards the lower end of the price spectrum. But as you can see here, things have really kind of flattened out a little bit, maybe even declined slightly. And, I think that's really good news for those first-time home buyers who kind of maybe felt like they were getting crowded out of the market. There is a little bit of relief. Now, if we're moving on to our total monthly payment index, what we do for this is we assume a 5% down payment. And these figures do include taxes, insurance, and an HOA fee in the case of our condo. And here you can see we're at $36.32 for our single family, so a slight decline, and then $28.19 for our condo. Again, a slight decline. Interest rates did tick up a little bit, but not enough to counteract the effect of prices that were slightly weaker. So really, things are just kind of holding steady in sort of these numbers. And then this one is always really fun for me. If you were always wondering what is the minimal amount of household income you need to qualify for these houses, if you had no other debts, this is where it is. We've actually gone down slightly again for our single family and slightly down again for our condo at $69,000 and then $88,944 for our single family. So as you can see, homeownership in California is not out of reach, even with a 5% down payment. It is still possible for a pretty broad range of incomes. And again, these are first quartile. They're actually homes in these categories that are less expensive than what we are running on as well. Okay, so we've talked about the affordability, but what about availability? And this is sort of where we have a little bit of not so great news to report and then some good news. So let me jump in here and kind of give you an idea of sort of what we're talking about with that. So this graph is our absorption rate. And absorption rate is really a great way of measuring supply and demand, right? So we look at all the new homes that were put into the MLS in the last week, and then we look at all the homes that went into escrow in the last week, and we compare those numbers. So one of the things you'll notice here is for our single family category, I mean, we've been hovering over 90%, even over the 80s for the last 3 weeks. this is sort of a very, very competitive market, especially at the entry level. You're facing multiple bids on pretty much every single house that is a house that you want to buy. And, it's just sort of the reality of that market. Things are a little bit easier on the condo front. You'll see that these numbers are a bit lower, and then we even got a little bit of relief in the last week. And, I think that really speaks to the condo market being a bit more accessible for first-time home buyers. So if you are a first-time home buyer and you're having trouble getting your offers accepted, the condo market, you're going to find that things are a bit easier. Again, these statistics are for Southern California, so we are talking about Los Angeles and Orange counties. And then finally, we have sort of our weak supply of homes. And, again, it's a bit of a mixed message. We did see some reductions in both of these, right? The condo week supply of home went down to 7.5 weeks. But really where we're seeing things kind of dive a bit is this entry level homes. We are just very much still struggling for inventory. 3.5 weeks is not a lot of inventory for single family homes, especially when you consider the fact that some of these homes will be overpriced. Some of these homes will be sort of unlendable. There's a lot of things that sort of reduce that inventory even further when we're talking about actually viable homes. So I hope this update's been good for you. Want to give a little bit of a shout out. We actually do have, if you are struggling for inventory, we do have a home in Riverside that has just hit the market, was showing starting this weekend. It is priced at just under $515,000. I think we're 414,888, and it is nearly 2,000 square feet. So actually a good sized property in excellent shape. It was built just this year. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you get notified. If you have comments or questions, we would certainly love to hear them. And then again, if you are a first-time home buyer and you like how we do business, we would love for the opportunity to work with you. Anyhow, we will see you again next week.